Hello, Mark Irish Football Fan TV. This is the player ratings with myself, Paul Nealon, and I'm here to do the player ratings from England 3, Republic of Ireland nil from Wembley Stadium this evening. And look, it's not going to be glamorous, I know. But look, I think I've been more than fair with players in the past when they've done well. I've given them good ratings. So I think equally when they've been bad, they have to accept getting poor ratings. And I know we were missing quite a few players anyway. But I'll start off Darren Randolph and goal. I think he gets a six. I think if you look at the goals, could he have done better from him? I don't really think so. I think you know the Sancho goal. There's not really he could really do. I don't think he could really do anything about the Harry Maguire goal, and obviously then the penalty. I don't think he could really do anything about it. It did look a little bit rusty, I will say, but overall his contribution, I think I give him a six. I think six isn't a bad shout for him. And then a right full, Cyrus Christie, I'm going to give him a four. The penalty given away, I just didn't think he was good tonight. I think you know Saka isn't. He wouldn't be a first choice for England, and yet he had the running of him the whole time. Think he needs to show more if he wants to be in contention. Just not just. I think it shows why he's on standby. Just wasn't good at all. Gave away a silly penalty, no need for it, and then they obviously got the third goal from that. And I think he could have done better for the Sancho goal as well. So therefore, for me, he gets a four, and yeah, just don't want to dwell too much on it. I think he gets a four, and if you think otherwise, let me know in the comments. Duffy, I think, gets a five. I don't think it was his best performance. He made some decent blocks here and there, but I was expecting a bit more from him tonight, and I know he's gone through a bit of a bad period of form at the minute. Still didn't think he was I still didn't think he was terrible, but I'm gonna give him a five. I just didn't think from a captain. I was hoping that he would maybe get a goal or something. And just for the Harry Maguire goal as well, I think he could have done better there. But so I'm just gonna give him a five on this occasion. It's probably the first time I've given him a bad rating, but it's up to him now to correct that against Wales. So five for him. I'm not going to give John Egan a rating because he wasn't on the pitch long enough, but I will give Darragh O'Shea a six. I thought when he came in, again looked like a seasoned pro and done everything, stuck to his task, filled in at right back for the second half. Thought he was really good and just looks like a really good player for the future. I think he has everything that we need for going forward. I could probably break into this team right now. I think if Stephen Kenny called upon him to start the game, I think he absolutely could, as he's shown against Finland. So I think he is definitely one that's going to be here for a long, long time. I just think he has pure quality. Then left back, I'm actually going to give Matt Doherty a seven. Might sound strange, a left back getting a seven, but I just thought everything he done tonight, he tried to make things happen from left back. He tried to, help passages of play happen and tried to get us up the pitch. Defended really, really well, in one-on-ones and stuff like that. I just thought he was really good tonight, and won headers and stuff like that to get us out of the box. And I just thought he was good tonight. At left back, I know Kenny Cunningham gave him man of the match as well, so. I just thought he was our best player tonight, and I think he was showing how frustrated he was when he was trying to create things, and just players weren't on the same wavelength as him, and I kind of felt sorry for him in a way because when you're trying to make things happen against a side like England and they're just constantly bombarding you, it must be so frustrating, and you'd hope that maybe he can replicate a similar performance against Wales because we'll need him. So yeah, I'll give him a seven. Howard, I'm giving a five. Just didn't think he'd done anything tonight. It was very ineffective. You could tell he's not been playing at his club. So I think a five for him, I think is reasonable enough. I could have went lower. I just didn't. I just thought he was overran completely in midfield. I think their midfield completely overran us. Our midfielders just didn't exist tonight, and I think that's where the game was lost. I think when we were trying to get the ball up to Ida, there was no one there to help him when he had the ball. So we were playing like a 4-5-1, although we should be playing 4-3-3. But I get the fact we're playing England, one of the best nations in Europe. So as much as we don't want to admit it, but Hendrick five as well. Just he's playing a bit of a deeper position to allow Brown to push on, but I just didn't see what he done tonight. There was times where he was looking for the ball, and then when he got the ball, he just didn't do anything with it. Didn't show any quality. We were hoping that he was going to be the man to try and make things happen for us, and I think James said it on the match preview with us that if you're relying on Hendrick to make things happen, I think it's it's a bigger picture for your team. If that's what you're relying on, I think you got to be worried about the rest of your team if that's your kind of star man or your creative spark. And I don't think he is our creative spark, but I think if he's supposed to be the one that's getting on the ball and trying to make things happen, which I didn't think he did, he came deep looking for the ball and just passed it sideways or just played it safe. I thought more often than not. There was, although he did pick out Horgan with one good pass, but other than that, I don't really remember him doing much in the game that made me go, oh wow, or made me thought that he was doing anything different than he normally does. So for me, a 5. Adam Brown, I'm kind of on the border of 4 or 5. I'll give him a 5. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he was isolated and he tried to make things happen, but ultimately the quality was evident between England and Ireland tonight. And I think people have been calling on Alan Brown to start and this and that, and I just don't really see the quality that we need from someone in that position. I think Jason Malumbi would be a far better addition in that position, or Robbie Brady, because they can carry the ball and get us up the pitch. I think Malumbi showed that when he came on, and Robbie Brady has flashes and glimpses of brilliance, whereas I don't think Brown does. I think he's been in situations where he could score goals and he's just fluffed things. You think of Slovakia game, and you think of like this shot tonight on Henderson. You're just wondering, like, why don't you actually hit that with a bit of power? Because it was just like a pass back. So he gets a 5 from me. Ida, I'm giving him a 5, but I feel sorry for him in that sense, is that he didn't do a whole lot wrong, but he didn't get a whole lot of service. And when the ball came up to him, he was trying to link play, but there was just nobody up with him. It's a bit of a thankless job. I think nobody plays that role well other than David McGoldrick for us, and I think we're kind of looking at him to try and maybe get this first goal tonight, and it'd be brilliant. But I think Richie Sadlier had said it on the RTE after the game, is that you just have to stick with him and persevere with him. I think he will come good soon, and he's had a start of the season with Norwich, and I think you need to maybe just the more games he plays, I think the better he will become and the more used to the system he'll get. But I don't think he's ultimately at fault here, because if you're not getting the service what he's supposed to do, you can't be. He was up against 3 centre backs. You know, they play a 3-4-3, and he was up against 3 centre backs by himself, and is supposed to have wingers, but the wingers were spending more time tracking the wing backs. So it's a tough one for him. I think the other players around him as well. I'm going to give Darrell Horgan a 5, only because he started the first 15 minutes. He was really good, tried to make things happen, and he looked direct. Then he just fizzled out. I think ultimately he doesn't have the quality that we need in that position going forward, and I think he'll just be a reserve when we have our full strength team. And I think he showed tonight why he is a reserve, and I'm not trying to be harsh on him, and I would like to maybe see him do more. I appreciate we're up against England as well, 4th ranked in the world. Whatever way you want to look at the rankings, you have to say that the players that they have are very, very, very good. Then you had O'Dowda on the left hand side, who for me just didn't do anything. Again, completely ineffective. I'm giving him a 4. I just thought he was completely ineffective, and I look at him and I'm waiting for him to do something, and he just shows no emotion at all. Like, you're looking at him and you're just expecting someone to show some fight, to show some skill, show some pace, show something. He just doesn't show any emotion at all. It's hard to warm to him because he just doesn't do a lot. And then if you're kind of going through the subs, I'm not going to give Brady or McLean a rating. I just didn't think that they were that effective when they came on, so I'm just not going to give them a rating. I'll give Ronan Curtis a 6. Thought he'd done okay when he came on. He'd done a bit more than Ida. Jason Malumbi gets a 6. Kevin Long, I wouldn't really give him a rating either. I didn't think he was able to get into the game much. It's hard to in that position, I appreciate. So I think that's it. Any of the other subs I'm really not going to give it a rating to, because there's just no point. They didn't affect the game in any way. But I think, look, it's a player ratings that reflected the game, I think. Let us know your player ratings in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We just reached 9,000 subscribers. But on to bigger and better things now. Wales on Sunday. I'll speak to you soon, guys. Thanks.